Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad.
Well, welcome home, family.
Welcome home, family.
It's your mom and dad on a sacred day.
We're back, baby.
We're back, and Lee is back in the studio.
I'm alive.
Oh, he is alive. How are you doing, Lee?
I'm fine. I'm hanging in there. I'm happy to be back.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Leonard
sorry
was
you weren't.
sick.
Yeah, he was, and we missed you so much.
By the way, that's not Leah. That's not his real name. I just say that sometimes.
Like,
It
just
as a
mix it
heads
up.
I like it.
Uncle Lee, it's Uncle Leonard. No, but Lee, we're so glad that you're feeling a little bit better, and so happy that you're back with us.
Oh,
It felt
thanks.
sad and lonely without
It
you in
did.
here.
I know. I was bummed to miss the cast bios last week. I thought I'd really be
know.
like better for that.
I
but-
know, but
Why weren't you? Yes, exactly. Oh, you had to throw the fake cough in there.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. You were on vacation. Get out of here with this. He's like, I don't feel good. And then you hear people go like, "Come on, Lee, let's go. We're jumping off the
Just
boat."
in Hawaii.
He's like, "Sorry, I'm watching a movie right now."
but Lee is back for the sacred
Lee is
day because
back.
it is indeed a sacred day.
It is a sacred day.
Family, we are recapping today the first official episode of Charity Season.
Mm-hmm.
And Evan, I know you feel this way because we talked about it
Yeah.
last night when we were watching. And I saw the internet saying this too. And I'm so happy that the internet feels this way.
Okay.
There was something about last night that was like, it's back, baby.
Yeah, it
We're
actually kind of
back.
did. It had like an OG vibe to it.
It felt like their changes that they had made in mixing up some different dynamics with
Yes.
like Nehemiah, and then just the way Charity already from the top is such amazing Bachelorette energy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about last night, everything about this first episode felt like magic to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the start of something great, and I am
Let's go.
thrilled.
Let's
Like,
go. I'm so excited.
I am so excited. I loved the first episode. It was phenomenal. It went by so fast to me. I enjoyed every second. And then we saw the preview for what's to come. You and
Yeah.
I looked at each other and we were like, we had chills. She is going to be a special Bachelorette
Yes,
for
I
sure.
think-
You
I think
can
it's gonna be
feel it.
rad.
And I think we're going to have an incredible season. Mike Fleiss is out and it is the beginning of a new dawn.
Yeah.
And you can feel it. And it just, like I was saying, even too, leading up to the season, they were just doing different things even on Instagram. They were showing these different clips of the men. The way that they showed their intro packages was different this season. How they didn't just show us like 5 intro packages of the men at the top.
Yeah.
The fact that they stepped out of the limo and then you saw certain guys' intro package. So you could
Yes.
kind of follow along. It felt
Yes.
cleaner. It felt more smooth. Even on Instagram, they were doing a astrology moment on The Bachelor. They did like a collab
got
with
it.
an astrology Instagram where they were showing the guys different signs and showing like what, the rose and the thorn of the different signs.
It's just more fun.
It
I
feels
think the
fun.
fun energy. Before it started to get really serious
Yes.
kind of vibes, and I'm not sensing that as much this time. And the serious, it's just a subtle difference. It's almost just like the way they're editing it or something. It's just a little more playful.
It's a magic
know?
that you felt. I think it's a
Yeah.
combination with the way that they're editing it and also the way that there's maybe less men. I feel like already we're getting to know some of these men well on the first night, which I feel like is
Yes.
pretty rare. And then we have an amazing Bachelorette.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
The trifecta.
Yes,
It feels
it's gonna
so
be
good.
sick. It's summertime too, so it's like we're getting into summer. I'm a big summer guy.
You're a big summer guy.
I love summer. I got 2 glooms in the house right now. Lee and Jess both love, like, if it's gloomy out, I'm
it's
happy.
dreary, baby.
And
But
I'm like the opposite. I'm like, give me the sunshine. Look, I already got my tan going. Y'all can see my shirt. Look at this. I got a bit of a tan going. Don't
I
even
know.
worry about it.
I'm
Don't
like,
even
oh,
sweat on it.
I'm like, I feel like throughout this episode, the buttons are going to start getting lower and lower.
Don't you get twisted. By the time summer's over, I will be podcasting shirtless. But I do feel a little weird. I'll be honest with you. If you notice, I don't have my nose ring on.
Yeah.
And it's because so I always wear headphones so you can't see it, but I have like 2 earring holes. And I've been rotating a single ring
Yeah,
from
yeah.
my nose to 2 ear holes. So it's literally been like every week I just switch holes.
Yeah, I noticed this. I was like looking at one of your earrings and I'm like, first of all, it's like this open hoop. And I looked at it and I go, is that a nose ring? And I hadn't even noticed that your nose ring was gone.
Yeah, and it's like so weird. And I've just been doing it for like the last 3 months. And I kind of just like woke up this morning as I was moving it to another hole. And I was going like, what is my problem? Like, go out and buy a $5 ring and put it in the other holes. Like, what is that? Like, it's like a weird, like avoidant behavior that I have.
I fully resonate.
Where I'm just like rotating a ring around. It's like, why not just buy 2 more rings and then you're good?
I fully resonate with this. Okay, hold on. I have something to say about it because I'm doing something similar as well.
Yeah, it makes no
simultaneously.
sense to me.
Okay, wait, one quick pause
Okay,
one quick pause. So family, listen, if you're a person who chooses to shave, we have to tell you about Athena Club. Oh my gosh, I love my Athena Club razor kit. This is a 10 out of 10 phenomenal razor, people, okay? Like I said, if you choose to shave, this razor is not only very aesthetically pleasing, it's also so gentle on my body and it leaves my skin super moisturized because the razor blade is surrounded by a water-activated serum with shea butter and hyaluronic acid, which is the holy grail of skincare. There is a reason this razor has thousands of 5-star reviews from customers, and I'm one of them. I love it.
The best part is the razor kit is only $10 and comes with 2 blade heads, a magnetic hook for shower storage, you have that, and your choice of handle color.
Yes, they have so many color options. I have the mint color, but I also love that they have black and white as razor options as well. It's very cool. And with Athena Club, you never have to think about blade refills because you choose how often you want your replacement blades shipped to you for free, and you'll never be stuck with overused blades. Oh my gosh, also Athena Club has the most amazing shave foam that will leave your skin so soft and hydrated. Show your skin you care with the Athena Club razor kit.
Head to athenaclub.com and use code MOMDAD for 25% off your first order. Again, that's athenaclub.com and use code MOMDAD for 25% off. Athena Club has also launched in Target stores nationwide, so make sure to check out the shaving aisle to buy their products in store in real life.
So I totally resonate with what's happening with you as well,
Like,
because
what is that, dude? It's like all I got to do is buy 2 more $5 rings, and my thing is, but now I'm like remembering and make sure to rotate, and like I'm like one step away from having like a calendar set, like a reminder. I was like rotate rings. You know what I mean? And it's like, what am I doing?
It's like, honestly, it's one of the reasons that when we talk about Rocket Money, one of our sponsors, I'm so grateful for them because it's the same way that I won't unsubscribe to something.
It's like
I'm like, it's going to take me moments to do this, and yet I just can't do it.
I'll just keep paying.
Yeah, what is that? So I have that too right now. I normally have 2 nose rings in, and I had a situation probably about 2 months ago where I was in bed and one got stuck on the covers and ripped out of my nose. I was bleeding everywhere. It was so gross. But now I only have 1 ring in, and I know my nose is closing up. But for the life of me, I just won't get a second ring, and I want it in, but I just haven't done it.
It makes no sense. It's kind of like, I guess it's a version of procrastination.
I guess so.
But it's not even work. Like, a good example would be, I've purchased things online since I've needed a ring. So it's not like I'm avoiding online. You know, it's not like I'm avoiding like having to buy something online. It's like I've literally bought something, thought about buying the ring and thought, nah, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Like you kind of brought this up earlier, but like a light bulb in your bathroom.
Oh yeah,
like,
that was.
You'll sit in the dark.
Yes.
Like you'll sit on the toilet in pure pitch black before you.
Oh no, yeah. Like this morning, like my vanity light went out, and I thought about like the mirror light went out, and I thought about just buying like another lamp to plug into the wall instead of
it's like
instead of getting, because it's gonna have to get a ladder and like go up to the top.
Like it's gonna be a whole
which
thing.
takes 14 seconds.
No, but I'm about to spend like $30 on a new light.
You're like,
and
but I could get a desk.
And have a cluttered like bathroom.
Have it cluttered. Have it to be delivered. Like wait
like
for
I
that.
could have a desk lamp on my bathroom.
That made more sense to me than just changing the light.
I
so
totally
check this out.
get this.
We have 2 showers in our house, and one has better pressure than the other. So I like to shower in the one with the good pressure. That one, like this is no joke. So it's an old kind of 60s shower where it's like you stand up only and it closes off with a door. There's one light in there. It's out. I shower in relative pure darkness.
It's a cave shower.
I'll sit there literally in almost pure darkness and shower where I can barely see like where the shampoo is or like where the soap is.
Evan's like shaving in the dark. He's just nicking himself constantly. He's
No,
like, ow,
it's
ow.
seriously. And I'm like, why won't I just put a new light in there? I've cleaned the house. I've redone like complete
you've
things.
remodeled.
I've remodeled stuff. And I'm going like, I just won't replace a $3 light.
Yeah.
It's so strange to me. Okay, so that being said, now that we're in this conversation, I think this is actually like, has to be like a real problem for most people.
1,000%.
Please send in, go on to our call home and send in your weird avoidant behaviors. Like the worse, the better. Like the stuff that you'll do just, it's like, oh, my door is falling off the hinges. So instead of getting a new bolt for the door, I go through my window in the front of my house and come through the front instead of just going through my door. Like I want to hear like,
oh, I'm fully
weird
wired.
Avoidant behaviors.
I'm fully wired in the way where I'm like, all of a sudden I lose my key and I won't get another key remade, but I need to keep the house locked. So I'll just start going through the doggy door all the time.
Exactly.
I'm like, I'll force my way through the doggy door so that I don't have to go get a new key remade.
Yeah.
I think this is what we need to do. I will go online and I will buy us earrings and nose rings because that's what you're avoiding. I'm avoiding the putting it back in.
Okay.
So you can put in my nose ring for me. I'll just lay down. You put it in. I'll buy the nose rings and the earrings. How about that?
Sounds good. That's
Shake
a good
on
team.
it.
That's a good
That's
team.
team. And Lee will, we'll buy you a light bulb.
Please.
We'll come over. We'll
But
come over.
it's probably some weird light bulb that's not a normal light bulb, and that's why I've been avoiding.
No, you're just assuming it is. See, that's the brain. The brain is thinking like this is so much more of a problem than it is. Like I remember when I was in college, I had like an old truck, and this is back when like hide keys were really popular. Remember, like you get like a a magnet thing and put your key in it and like put it under your car if like you got locked out, because mine wasn't electric. So instead of buying a hide key, I would accidentally lock my keys in my car and have to call AAA like once a month.
You used to lose your key or lock your keys in your car all the time when
and
we were dating.
I would literally have to sit there for 2 hours waiting for the truck to show up, unlock it, jimmy it. Thank you, sir. Tip. I did that once a month instead of just buying a $5 little hide key and sticking it out of the truck. Like just so weird.
No, but I remember what you did. You finally did it. You immediately locked your keys in your car.
To use it.
You used the hide key and then you just kept that key in your car and you never put it back in. And then like 2 weeks later, you locked the keys in your car again with the hide key also inside the car.
Oh, and I had 2 sets of keys. I had a single key that was my car key and my keychain that had all my other keys on it. Never attached them. So I'd have like one key in one pocket, the other keys in the other pocket, like just insane behavior. Meanwhile, like doing everything else I needed to do. It's like, what? I don't know. It's interesting to me. I want to hear more about
it's
it.
Because there's too much to do in this goddamn life, okay? There's too many things. We have social media. We have emails. We have the TVs. We have
Are you
the
68?
We have the driving.
Emails.
We have the freeways. We have the schedules, the works, all of that stuff. We have the making of the food. It's too much,
You said
okay?
the freeways? Like, what does it even have to do with anything? Just the freeway. We have the roads. We have lampposts. I mean, there's so much going on around. I mean, there's telephone lines. What else do you want from me, world?
It's too much. That's what's happening. It's too much.
In 3rd grade, I didn't get to go to the field trip.
I just want the simple things in life, okay? The simple pleasures, like watching reality TV.
Okay.
I just want that on
True.
loop 24/7. That's all I need.
That's all we need now.
That's all we need.
It's our food. It's our life. It's our sun.
It's our lifeblood, our life source. Just stick me with an IV full of goddamn The Bachelorette, full of Vanderpump, full of Housewives. Oh my God, speaking of Vanderpump, before we get into Charity's first episode, news is out, okay, that Lala went, I think she was on a live.
Lala is dating Sandoval.
Oh my God, can you believe? No, Lala went on her Instagram live and said that Wednesday, which now is when this episode is going to be dropping, so today, for anyone listening on Wednesday, is the official start of filming.
Whoa.
So she said,
wow.
They're jumping right into it. She said it's very unusual for them. Normally they do have a decent break, but they're jumping right in. Now, the rumblings I've heard, what I've heard is that Sandoval is definitely confirmed for the season. Raquel is still to be determined. So I don't know if that means production doesn't know if she's not going to be there. And they're still trying to figure out and negotiate with her, or if they're just keeping it like very, very, very secret. And maybe the cast doesn't even know and they're filming with her alone for a while separately. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm excited.
So just as a heads up, filming has begun.
It has begun.
And I hope that means that we get the season quicker too.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine they probably won't rearrange it, but now that it was the show that was like that finale was the most watched finale of all time of anything on Bravo. I believe
the iron's hot, so they're probably just trying to strike.
I hope so.
But
we're not here for that today.
That doesn't matter.
We don't care about that nonsense.
We care about Charity and her life.
We care about Charity and her life and her love. Should we get into it?
Yes, enough diddly-dallying. Thanks for bringing up a dumb story about earrings.
You know what's so funny is all I kept picturing after watching this first episode. I just had this just this picture in my mind of Zach wanting to be participatory, like wanting to participate in this episode because he's like, it's time for me to deliver the crown to Charity. It is now time for Charity. So I will be the one to show up and like deliver this crown. And I just picture production being like, typically we have like the Bachelorettes talking to the Bachelorette, like not passing a crown. Yeah. Also, we don't have an actual crown and scepter, but like Zach being like, no, there has to be a crown. I will. And like just knocking on her hotel room door. The production does not expect him to show up.
I've made one myself. Cast from the gold of my hometown and a championship belt that I will reward to her when she picks her mate. And at the end of this, I will then also reward her with an investment opportunity, a portfolio for once in a lifetime success, passive income, an undeniable opportunity.
They're like, Zach, we didn't call you and ask you to come. We have all the Bachelorettes sending these really sweet messages to her. We don't need you to come. And he's like, but I have a business opportunity for her.
Business never sleeps, neither do I.
I do like the idea though, if he's in his house and he is like, they do like a filming thing where they just got to go like check up, like where is he at now? You know?
Where is Zach and Katie at? Which, by the way, Zach and Katie, congratulations. They look like they are thriving and in love and doing so well. So congratulations to them.
But I like the idea of them showing up to their house and then like he has cast a crown and he spent like $200,000 on it. Like there's like real jewels in there.
Like all the ad money that he's just like, since
I felt this was necessary. This will be a family heirloom. And like the kids he has one day are like, I don't want this shit. Why? What is this thing? Like
one day your father and mother, they met on reality television. I was a king.
I was a king. I chose my queen. And this will go on for ages and ages. No matter where you go, carry this with you. It'll bring you good luck, riches. Yeah, I hope he has something like that. Some commemorative, piece of jewelry.
I feel like he does somewhere. Maybe a trophy somewhere that he made.
Yeah, they're like he has like one of those. Is it pendant? What's a necklace that has like a thing you open it?
Locket.
A locket. He has a locket and it's gold and it just says Bachelor and then you open it and it's just his face in it and he's wearing it.
But don't you love the idea of him unannounced productions like please don't come?
Yeah, and he's just like I assumed this was a part of my role was to carry on a tradition.
And he's showing up wanting to give her advice after the disastrous ending.
Forced advice.
Hey, come here. I know you weren't for me and I hope there's still no hard feelings, but for me, day one, and she's just like, what the hell are we doing here? He's just like, listen, no, stop bothering me, production. For me, day one is really all about finding your power. Okay, just as Tony Robbins says, you have to find your power. Take ice baths. I prepared for us an ice bath. And a CrossFit workout that we will go through. Because if you push hard You will then create patterns in your life. Do hard things, experience peace. Do hard things, life will be easy.
He's like, remember when I flipped you upside down and ran across the finish line with you?
Remember when your head was slamming against my back and you were concussed? You probably saw your love. Now you're here. The concussion I gave you has brought you here. Everything happens for a reason.
He's like, if I can give you one piece of advice, FaceTime Sean Lowe.
If you need a mentor, FaceTime me. I have devoured Tom Lowe. Or no, Tom Lowe. Sean Lowe. Who's Tom Lowe?
Nobody's
Tom Lowe.
I am now Tom Lowe.
They're like, what? He just like starts losing his mind like in the moment.
I have eaten Sean Lowe. I am Tom Lowe.
Like, your name's Zach.
And they're like, what? They're like, we need to get someone in here. Security. Too scared.
And Jesse Palmer's just sad because he's like, Zach didn't even call me. I thought we were best friends. I thought we had a connection. And just Zach's just bowling past him.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Jesse.
Yes. But shout out to Zach.
Shout out to Zach. We love
and
you.
shout out to Katie because they seem like they're thriving. And maybe we will get a moment with them on this season.
I hope so. Speaking of Jesse, I mean, let's just get into this.
Yeah, let's dive right in.
I feel like Jesse, and here's the thing about Jesse. I like Jesse.
The more this show continues, the more I like Jesse. I thought he did such a great job during the live finale of Zach's season. I thought it was fantastic. And the more I watch it, the more that I feel drawn to Jesse, like he's in on the joke a little bit.
Interesting.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I feel like Jesse, I'm starting to get this vibe from Jesse, like he knows his role and that it's kind of ridiculous and that he's in on it and he's getting more and more hosty as we speak.
Okay. Interesting. I have a different take.
Okay.
I like Jesse a lot. Seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Harmless, super cool. Like, so this isn't a judgment on his character, but I actually think that they replaced him, that there's actually on this show right now, the first AI host.
I could see that 100%.
Because he's got this, like, he's gotten more like an AI version of a host.
Yes.
So like, they're like, welcome to The Bachelor. And he's got this, like, he's got a perma smile on.
The smile
and he
is
kind of does
smiling.
this like, and here come the men. And it's gotten more like fake in a way. Like it's gotten more like robotic.
He's definitely kind of giving Vegas Jesse this season.
He's giving like
I'm getting
robot,
Vegas
like,
Jesse.
And welcome to The Bachelor.
It's got like,
And you can see the men.
you know what I mean? Like he's got like the smile is just like, hi. And it never really like rests. You know what I mean? Like there's not a like humanity going on with like his performance right now. So I don't know if it's like he's just gotten more Hollywood, and so he's got this like, you know, he's kind of putting on the more
JP
Hollywood-esque
is living a little more
vibe.
Hollywood. We love to see it.
Maybe, but I'm just getting like less and less like is anybody home kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, listen.
Charity, this way.
guys.
He's just, for all of his monologues, is just chat GBT over and over again.
Yeah, honestly. So I don't know. I love the guy. Like, again, it's just more like, I already felt like he was very kind of like performative and like,
Yeah, he's
good
very
evening.
hosty,
He's very
yes.
hosty, and it's gotten much more. I think it's just, you know, it's like maybe we're getting back in. He's got to warm up the engines a little bit, but I'd love to see just a moment of like maybe anger or like frustration or just a little personality in there. You know what I mean? I'm feeling like
I have crossed the lines, and I now believe that
you think he's playing with
he
us.
is in on the joke.
Okay.
I do think he's in on the joke. I'm going to stand by that.
Okay.
And we'll see in Paradise too. I think Paradise is where the host can loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's a little more loose in Paradise, or if it becomes more AI-ish and more Hollywood-ish. Because if in Paradise it's AI-ish, then, you know, we've gone full Hollywood. We've gone
Welcome to the beach. My,
just throw sand
my
up.
circuits do not work well in the heat.
You just see like producers having to like
melting.
water it off and like cool them down, and like
My circuits do not adjust well
throw-
to this heat.
They throw
I
some
was developed in Silicon Valley, where it is 72 degrees Fahrenheit for 340 days of the year.
throw water on him and just like.
After 92 degrees, I start to malfunction.
The humidity is getting to me.
The humidity is debilitating.
Oh my gosh, it's rusting his circuit.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
The humidity. So stupid. We're back.
We're back. Okay.
There's something about the Bachelorette franchise that brings this out of me.
I know.
Brings it out of me.
Also, yeah, the 20-minute long tangents.
Yeah, exactly. We're 30 minminutes in, and there has been no recapping
on something that's not important or has anything to do with
I'm sorry.
the show.
I'm sorry. Why did you bring that up? All right, here we go. First guy.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so we have moments with Charity, by the way, and we see a little bit more into her background. I just love her. I love her so much. I'm obsessed with her energy. You know, I've been such a huge fan since Zach's season. And from the get, we're getting that energy with her. There's a reminder that she was in that 6-year-long relationship where there was a lot of cheating. So I'm interested to see conversationally, like where we're going to go with some of the men. Also then, you know, that might bring in when she's getting closer to the finish line, some certain fears coming up, understandable fears of when you've had that happen in the past of like, okay, are these red flags coming in? Am I going to trust this person that, let's be honest, I haven't spent that much time with, all of these things. But then we also get to see, again, be reminded of her family, who are the most attractive family.
Just sweet hotties, dude.
The sweetest hotties,
sweet hotties
I've ever seen. Her brothers, her sister, the parents, when they had like the full scope shot of the family, I was like, my God.
Yeah, I felt like they were just like, they actually aren't family. They were just like cast.
They were just so gorgeous
just
together.
Smoke show family.
It's just an absolute smoke show.
Seriously.
But then, yes, we start the limo entrances off. We have a gazebo set up because it's raining outside. I don't recall us ever seeing that. Now, I will tell you, I have heard numerous people talk about how they wash the pavement down and it's super slippery. So that's always a note.
Because they want it to look all slick and shiny.
Yeah, to contestants when they're walking, like, be careful. Well, it's pouring rain. So everybody, I wonder if there was any slips that happened that we didn't see.
Yeah, but
some slick shoes.
I did like their little overhang thing.
The gazebo was
It wasn't
gorgeous.
like, you know, I was thinking with the Bachelor, with the franchise that's been going on lately, I thought they were going to bring out one of those like just things you bring to the beach. You know what I mean? Like a blue
tarp setup.
tarp overhang thing that you get at Costco.
Like an info booth tarp.
Yeah, just like if you're like at the beach and you're like, oh, we're gonna have a little bit of a cookout.
Sure.
You just stick that thing over the grill.
Or we're passing out pamphlets outside of some store. Yeah.
But they built like, it was like a proper like
It was
thing.
gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And like Jesse Palmer said, rain is good luck. Oh, also, by the way, Charity, we see Charity in the most stunning gown that is just crystal head to toe. Charity is so gorgeous. I know we're just talking about her family.
Yeah.
That woman, like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot get over it. I couldn't get over it during Zach's season. And now watching her on our screen for hours, I'm like, oh my God.
Uh-huh. And you know if she looks that good on camera too, in person? Because you know they always say like in person too, like you meet certain people and you're like, whoa. You know in person even too, you're like, the guys probably get out and they're like, whoa.
I know, well you could kind of see it. The men look at her, and I felt like some of these guys who came out, who probably are typically pretty confident guys, saw her and were a little bit like, holy smokes.
That happens
like,
to me a lot with the podcast when I meet people out. They're like, holy shit. I'm not trying to be brag. I'm just saying, like, I get what she feels
You're like, I'm no Charity, but like, I will tell you this much.
People go, wait, is that? There's no way. That's crazy.
That's a Hollywood star. That's not.
What movies are you in?
Podcast,
anyway.
Right? I'm sorry. Are you Tom Hardy or are you Evan Ambrose?
Are you famous somehow? I'm just a podcaster, man. Living my life. Just leave me alone.
Like, man. Oh my God, please come to the front.
More than just a pretty
Skip
face.
the line. Skip the line. Come to the front.
Guys, stop.
She's looking absolutely gorgeous. And the first person who comes out of the limo which is always, first limo entrance is always a big entrance, as Bachelor data has let us know time and time again. She always comes in with the data letting us know that first limo entrance is typically always a big character in the show.
Okay. Yeah.
First impression rose, typically first kiss, first limo entrance.
Okay. I actually didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, statistically, it is true. So Aaron B comes out. Now, I have to confirm, we talked about this. I don't know if you all listened to our cast bio episode, which we had so much fun with Grayson and Becca on. And we were joking, saying, oh my God, what if Aaron B is the friend of Aaron Clancy, because they're both named Aaron and they're from San Diego. It is indeed the friend of Aaron Clancy.
I love the idea of him just be like immediately just being like, guys, if we're going to do this, all right, make sure you're respectful. All right. That's the number one thing I request.
Number one thing is respect. Number two thing, your name has to be Aaron.
If you're an Aaron, respect goes a long way. So just keep your shit together. Don't come at me right now.
But they were all, Aaron was actually posting from Instagram. They had a big watch party with their friend Aaron B. James was there. It was a whole San Diego crew watching Aaron B. And I have a feeling, I mean, we get it throughout this episode. And again, him being the first limo entrance, Aaron B is going to go far.
Yeah.
He's going to go far in the show. But he hopped out and I thought he had a great line right off the bat, where he right away tells her that her sparkles match her eyes. And she was like, okay, smooth. I'm like, I like that. And at first I wasn't following. I was like, wait, what? Isn't it kind of like a purpley dress? I'm like, the sparkles in her eyes.
Yes.
Smooth. Aaron Clancy was like, pound it, dude. You crushed that.
Yeah,
you crushed that.
Yeah, dude. And then he flips the coin, We know that's a double-sided coin.
Of course. At this point, the whole world is talking about but of course it's a double-sided coin. In fact,
I went to go see Chris Angel, and he did this trick that was insane.
Aaron B, you should definitely get one of those.
Yeah.
I figured out later that Chris Angel trick, actually, check this out, double-sided coin.
Dude, absolutely melted my brain. The whole time I was thinking, how the hell has this guy flipped a coin 347 times, and it's heads every time? The chances are so low.
I saw Bachelor Clues post a photo with Aaron B and Charity, and in the background you see on Amazon, it's a couple bucks, just a double-sided heads coin. So he asks her, he's like, do you believe in fate? If I flip this, heads, we get engaged.
Yeah.
Tails, I pack my bags and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Which, can you imagine if he wouldn't?
He's just like, oh, shit.
Accidentally.
Well, it was really nice meeting you. And he's like, I thought this was going to be so cool.
He by accident
grabs
the wrong coin.
Yeah. See, the only thing I thought would have been cute is if he would have given her the coin and it would have been like, gotcha.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I had a moment we're realizing this is a double-sided heads
this is
coin.
Fun. I gotcha. Yes. I tricked you. I thought that would have been for the 2 times he used it. Or maybe he's just a coin guy now. Every interaction he has with her, he busts a coin out.
Can you imagine every time that they have a moment together? He's like, let's see what fate says.
He's like, heads or tails? Heads, I marry you.
He's at the altar.
Tails.
Evan.
What?
If Aaron B is her final pick, he's going to have the coin.
And then that's when he reveals it's double-sided. She's like, yeah, I know.
She's like, yes, I'm aware, Aaron.
It's been a month. You don't think I knew that right away? And then she's like, actually, to be honest with you, I don't think I like this. This is kind of how you are.
She's like, I feel a little tricked. I mean, honestly, you were telling it was fate it was fate the whole time. I knew it was a double-sided heads, but
I was that gullible. I don't know if this is the right fit for us.
I feel good about this.
And she goes, tails, I'm out.
I also, to be honest, I thought it was cute. Now, when he busted it out the second time, I was a little bit like, all right,
okay.
We have a lot of the gimmicks now going on, but I get that you have to have your thing. You have to make your mark. You know what I mean? But I am not one who loves a coin flip when it involves me having to do something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? With the second coin flip, he was like, tails, you play the piano.
Yes.
Heads, you kiss me. And I'm like, but what if I don't want to do either of those?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or the other option.
But what can I throw in something maybe as an option that I can but if he would have picked the wrong coin,
that would have been great.
And he would have gotten
I knew
tails.
I should have taken all these quarters out of my pocket.
And then he's just like, well, okay, I guess I'm leaving. He just takes it so seriously. He's like, okay, well, production.
I'm a man of my word.
You gave me the first limo entrance, but I guess we're packing the bags up.
Packing the bags.
Packing the bags up. Okay, let's take a quick pause before we dive into all these men. Family, it is summer, and if you are like us, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for sunny, active days. Okay, we have been out there in nature these days lately, and well, Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time and eat well, and holy smokes, these meals are so good.
So good.
They are delicious.
If you're too busy with summer plans to cook, with Factor, you can skip the trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping, the prepping, the cleaning too, and while still getting that flavor and nutritional quality. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then go back outside and soak up the warm weather.
Factor offers delicious flavor-packed options on the menu each week to fit a variety of lifestyles. So many options. In fact, you can choose from 34 plus chef-prepared weekly options, okay, featuring premium ingredients. Plus, you can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 45 plus add-ons, including breakfast items like their delicious apple cinnamon pancakes. They are so good. Bacon and cheddar egg bites, or for an easy wellness boost, you can try the refreshing beverage options like cold pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. And by the way, if you are feeling fancy, you can try Factor's new upscale surf and turf meal options like roasted garlic filet mignon and shrimp and Cajun spice shrimp and salmon. Yum. Delicious. And by the way, if you're wanting to budget this month by cutting back on takeout, you can get Factor instead. Not only is Factor cheaper than takeout, but meals are ready faster than restaurant delivery in just 2 minutes. And again, these meals are delicious. And we're talking surf and turf.
They're so good.
Come on, yes.
Head to factormeals.com/momdad50 and use code momdad50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code momdad50 at factormeals.com/momdad50 to get 50% off your first box.
Okay, family, let's be honest here. Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost? I know I didn't, okay? And most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions, but the actual total is closer to $200 a month, okay? And if you don't know exactly how much you're spending each month, you need Rocket Money. Oh, how grateful I am for Rocket Money. We were just talking about it.
Yes.
It saved me so many times. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place.
Rocket Money will quickly and easily find your subscriptions for you. And for any of you that don't want to pay for it anymore, you just hit cancel and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. It's really that easy. Rocket Money also helps you manage all your finances in one place and automatically categorizes your expenses. So you can easily track your budget in real time and also get alerted if anything looks off.
Here's the thing. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about, and chances are you're one of them. No judgment. I have multiple, okay? Like that streaming app that you download just to watch one episode of one show, or that free gaming trial you never actually used. Mine involved mythical creatures. Rocket Money saves you from forgetting about all of those and spending your money monthly unknowingly. Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. For myself, they've saved me about $1,000 a year, which is wild. And are rising prices stressing you out? I know they're stressing me out. If you're looking for ways to cut costs, you need Rocket Money.
Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/momdad. That's rocketmoney.com/momdad. rocketmoney.com/momdad.
Okay, so next we had Josh, aka, if you listen to our cast bio episodes, who we decided is actually Jesus Christ, because Josh is from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and his favorite holiday is Easter, and he loves sunrises, and he works for a nonprofit that helps out with affordable housing. So he is indeed Jesus. And he did have a moment where he took Charity's hand and put it on his chest and said that his heart was warm. Very Jesus move to me.
What we're discovering is that
Jesus move.
We have another heart guardian.
We do have another heart
He's
guardian.
a very guard your heart guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was hoping he would be like, he was going to make like Jesus kind of like jokes.
Yeah.
And be like, the stone has rolled away. and your love has been discovered. You know what I mean?
He is from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania,
That's
so
what
I
I'm
thought he
saying.
might have had a Bethlehem joke.
Exactly.
You know, a missed opportunity.
To be honest with you, the Jesus, I mean, how he hasn't kind of identified the Jesus reference in his own life. Maybe he has. Well, we wish Jesus Christ the best on The Bachelor.
Good luck. You know what?
He's back and he's ready to date.
You know, Jesus. Jesus was the
like,
one.
hey, I didn't date the first time around. I would love to just have fun. Like, let me just get out there. Like, all this saving the world thing.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. And you guys just never let me date around. And
so
I'm
it's
not
time
really,
for me to date.
Yeah, and it's like, to be honest with you, Charity, like, I'm not looking for anything really serious. I'm looking to have fun, hang with the boys, and possibly have a good time.
Well, it was ironic to me that Josh, aka Jesus, is the one who figured out that Nehemiah was a plant, essentially. He was like, I recognize you.
Nehemiah, yeah.
He was the one who was like, Nehemiah, did we wrestle together in college?
It's like, didn't I know you about 2,000 years ago?
Nehemiah, were you one of my disciples? You look familiar.
Wait a second.
But the fact that he figured it out, I was like, another clue in that he
knows everything.
Yeah, I agree.
He goes, you know I'm omniscient, right? Gosh, it's so stupid. It kills me to think. Oh, okay.
Okay. Next, we had Joey, who is the tennis pro.
Yeah.
Clips of him strolling around on the Hawaii beach. I mean, Joey is definitely going to be a fan favorite.
He's charming. He's very sweet.
I also loved when he was making the comments about, like, why is everyone so tall? He's like, everyone is
really
so
funny.
tall. He's like, I'm the shortest guy here. Like, why are you all
like they're
so
giant.
tall? Like, I loved that.
Yeah, that was. He was sweet. He was charming. We thought he was going to be like big F-boy vibes, but I'm not getting that at all.
I'm not getting that at all either. Now, I did get the energy that he was a little nervous. We can talk in a minute about his one-on-one moment with Charity, which I thought went well, but also had some nerves involved.
He was the first one too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like once you see a couple people make out or something, once you kind of get a couple drinks in, right? Because they've been drinking, then all of a sudden people start getting loose. But to be the first one,
That's a lot.
Definitely felt like she was probably slightly, like she probably warmed up as the night went on. All the guys did. The first one you get is
a lot of
like,
pressure.
it's a lot of pressure. Everyone's a little on edge, you know.
But I definitely think we have a massive fan favorite in our midst.
I think she was ready to kiss.
So did
She was
I.
giving him the look like, are you going to pull the trigger?
mean,
and he was kind of looking away like, I think
No,
you're really
she
cute.
was literally cuddling up, cozying up on him, and I was like,
I
oh
think
my God.
I think he got nervous.
I think he got nervous too.
I bet he was regretting it for the rest of the night.
Especially too, he kept looking not at her and he was looking directly ahead, like almost not used to having the cameras there, where I was like, Joey, don't look at the camera. Look away. Look at
He's just
Charity.
like-
He was
just
staring
looking at the camera.
off at one camera.
He's
And I was
like,
like, stop talking to the camera. I'm like, no, talk to Charity. And there were some moments where, you know, I felt like the conversation where he was stepping on it a little bit, but I wasn't getting like, I was getting good energy. I was just getting a little bit of like some nerves popping. But
he was sweet. Like the
sweet.
limo interest was just very sweet, and then he was nice. So
yeah, where he offered her the plumeria flower and talked about the left and right ear.
That was actually, I don't know what it was. I really liked that.
It was very
just
charming.
sweet and charming.
Yeah, I like his energy. I believe he will be a fan favorite, and you know, I'm also calling that he's going to be at least top 5.
Yeah. I thought he was going to
that's what
pull
we
the
saw.
cocky move and put the flower over on the left ear and be like, by the way, let's just consider this thing a done deal. And then he didn't.
I
so
liked
that made me
that.
like him more.
Yeah, where he's like, maybe
Yeah. He's
if
sweet.
you're down. You know, it was, we like that energy.
Yeah, it's
we like
nice.
that energy. Next, we got Warwick, who during the cast bio, I am obsessed with his style. I think Warwick is so cute and I love his style. And he actually had, I could tell he seemed very nervous. I'm sure he's going to warm up here. But he had one of my favorite limo entrances. He presented her, at first he said, well, my parents have been married for a long time and they actually met on a flight. So I thought I would book us flight tickets. And he handed her a ticket that he had booked and was like, maybe we'll have what my parents had. I thought that was super cute and I thought it was creative. There was no moment of it that it could have been awkward either. It was just a smooth.
Yeah, it was smooth. And I thought about the flight thing too for a second. I thought, what an amazing way to meet someone. You're right next to them for 5 hours on a plane flight, and then you guys are flirting and like hitting it off.
It's a beautiful love story.
It's a legendary way.
It is.
And then you get off the flight and we're going to call each other.
I know. I want to hear about how they met. Like what happened after.
Sure.
Maybe we will. Maybe we will. But I like Warwick. I liked that entrance. In fact, in general, I felt like every entrance, there weren't any like over the top entrances this season.
No, there was no like coming in on some sort of fire, you know, what do they call those?
Fire
trucks?
truck?
Yeah. Sorry. No, you know what I mean? Riding in on a stallion, just all that stuff.
No, there was nothing that was over the top. And I did miss that a little bit. Like I like sometimes where there's a few out of control entrances. But, you know, I understand as someone going in, they'd be like, I don't necessarily want to be that guy. And I really do think we have a lot of contenders in this group of men.
There wasn't really any like the people that come in that are clearly not like never going to get a chance. And they're just like these like wild individuals. And you're like, they're just here for like the first episode buzz, you know?
Yeah,
I didn't get really that.
I got a lot of good potential options.
Yeah. I felt like most, if not all, were like, oh, like even if they don't connect, that was a person who's here seemingly for the right vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, they kind of got rid of the campiness a little bit, which to be honest with you, I always think is cheesy anyways. So like, I liked it.
Yeah. I like the camp.
Sure.
I think that I like a lot of the guys' personality so far too. And they all do, or a lot of them have super interesting jobs, like we were saying as well. So even just that in conversation was interesting enough.
I think why I also like the fact that all of them are like more serious, kind of well suited, is that it creates more drama for who's going to get cut.
Sure.
Because I do feel like what happens sometimes is like those first couple episodes, you're like, okay, there's obviously 10 of these 50 guys that are serious and the rest can like, we're just waiting for them to get cut.
Right. Like there were definitely a handful of guys in this episode where you're like, oh, these are the clear front runners right now. But with this group of men, I could see it being a season where you got to know some of the guys more. And then all of a sudden some people were coming out of the woodworks that she was really connecting with. And also in the preview, it looked like the guys were having a lot of drama.
Yeah.
So I think it's like serious business. Like these men are really vying for Charity's heart. Okay. Speaking of some serious contenders, we had Xavier next. And you know, Xavier was on the cast bio. He was the one that I'm like, I feel front runner energy. And I have to tell you, I'm continuing to feel this way about Xavier.
Neuroscientist who knits.
Oh my God.
First of all, I'm just kind of always under this impression that like a scientist isn't a real thing. Because it's just, you just never meet a scientist. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like they're not real people. Like there's doctors and they talk about scientists, but like, I just kind of like assume they don't exist or like, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's like, it sounds fake. It sounds like a fake
like, it's
thing.
like a movie, right?
Like you're in labs. Like that's fake. That's a movie profession. That's not a real profession.
You think it's too cool to be real.
What? In the lab all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've never met anyone who's like, oh, sorry, I've been in the lab all day.
Yeah, it sounds way too cool to be real.
Using Bunsen burners and like making like potions that like will cure disease. Like that's not real.
I know.
But it's so it is interesting to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that, you know, it sounds so dumb, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never like, oh, my two buddies are scientists. What do you mean they're scientists? Like, how do you even start that? Sorry, it's just sounding, I'm sounding dumber as I talk, but like there is something.
That's because
so
everyone we know is just like, I really hope to make it in the acting industry.
Maybe that's the issue.
I know a neurosurgeon, but I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying though. I like doctors and surgeons, yes. And we interact with those people. That's maybe another thing too. Is like when you go to the doctor, you meet with surgeons, you meet with doctors, but you never meet with scientists.
I'll set up a meeting for you.
Thank you. All right, on to the next.
But it's really, he was talking to about how his mom suffers from an autoimmune disease. So that's what his work focus is, which I thought was amazing. And then, the fact that he loves to knit, he's dynamic. And then also when he was knitting, you see like music equipment behind him.
I hate this guy because he's so cool and he's got it all. And I'm like, dude, stop with that.
And he, by the way, when he's knitting, his style was like a 10.
No, okay.
And he's like gorgeous.
Neuroscientist, cool style. Music equipment everywhere in his place while knitting. Mm-hmm. Then it swaps over to him doing like 47 pull-ups. And you're like, hey, man. Have a flaw. You know what I'm saying? Like, rotate your rings. Okay? Like, have a flaw. You can borrow some of mine.
No, he's genuinely like that.
It's
though.
crazy.
And then, I mean, we can just jump into this. When him and Charity had their sit down, immediately the chemistry was thick. Even when he just came up to her, and they first met, and he was talking about how he looks for cures for things and he still hasn't found a cure to a lonely heart. And I thought that was really cute. And normally I would think it was cheesy, but the way he delivers things,
it's all about
he can't be cheesy. He's just too cool.
The messenger
exactly.
is huge.
But then when they had their sit down together, the chemistry was so thick that I looked at you.
It was a monster makeout.
It was a monster makeout. And I looked at you and they were like speaking so close, and the way that he was looking at her and then she was kind of looking away, and I looked at you, I'm like, and I told you, I said, he's about to be the first kiss and it's going to be a wild makeout. And it was. So he got first kiss. The kiss looked great. It was long. And afterwards she was feeling giddy. She's like, Xavier, Xavier, Xavier.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good about my guess for front runner, okay?
Is it just me or is there chemistry between us? And then there's like a bubbling thing he brings out. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
You know what I would have loved, though? Maybe he'll do this on another date. But since he loves to knit, I would have loved if he would have like brought a scarf that he knit for her or something.
Yeah, that is cool.
That would have been
He's
cute.
like, it's cold out here. Puts it around her.
Yeah. Oh, that's a move. Maybe he'll bust it out later.
Yeah.
I feel good about it, though.
I love that.
I feel very good about him.
I want to knit. It's cool.
I know. Me too. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Okay, so then we have numerous guys in a row where we just get quick moments. We have Caleb A. We have Khaled. Nick.
John Henry brought out that like helmet that he's underwater diving helmet, which I thought was very cool.
That was very cool.
I felt like a little kid again. I was like, cool helmet, bro.
You're like, this is awesome. I also had this moment.
You go in the water with that?
I also had this moment where I'm like, oh, I really hope that John Henry isn't like, let me put it on you because she has this gorgeous hair and makeup. And then it would have been like, okay, sure. But he didn't. He just showed it to her. You know, he had it on and then he showed it to her. And I thought that was a cool moment. And then we have Aaron S., who is our Adam Levine impersonator. Brought out a candle and was like, I brought you this candle in hopes that we can make a wish together for the journey. Made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but that's fine. You know, it's all good.
Yeah,
I was a little nervous about the burning hot wax when he hugged her afterwards. But then we had Tanner, who I was like, who the hell is that? He looks so different from his photo. Couldn't figure it out. He had a Tanner towel that he was spinning, which felt odd to me.
It just felt like he thought of that as he was getting out of the limo a little bit. It just didn't feel like... Yeah. It wasn't even like a pickup. I don't know. We'll see.
It was just a little bit too, if I was the Bachelorette, I'd be like, shouldn't it be about me? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, but you know what, Tanner? Shout out. What you can do with that is if you go far in this show, you can sell the Tanner towels online.
That's true.
He's branding from the top.
That's good.
And so like, you know, let's just say he gets to top 4 and we're having, or even the men tell all and everyone's whipping around their Tanner towels.
Right.
Like
as long as you're not a villain, you have a chance to sell some merch there.
Exactly. So, you know, don't do villain energy and you could sell some serious amount of Tanner towels by the end of this. Then we have Chris, who is the jumper. Now, Chris, unfortunately, did not make it past night 1.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, there was a lot of backflipping going on. No shade. This man, it is impressive. He is the world record holder for jumping. This man can jump so high. Yes. So it's unbelievably impressive.
Fake. Like they showed B-roll of him jumping and it looks fake. Like he jumps so high that it's like about 3/4 of the way up the jump. You're like, there's no way it's going to keep going up. And he just keeps going. So it's like, I don't understand the physics.
I was rewinding and slowing down. I was like, they have strings attached to this man's back because when he jumps too, it almost goes in slow motion when he hits the top.
It's like he springs and then he's just kind of like going. And it's not like, you don't see the effort. It just goes.
And here's the thing. If I was Chris, I would be doing that everywhere. I'd be jumping on anything I could. And I'd be kind of like Messiah energy. Like, just watch me levitate. Chris Angel energy. I'm levitating everywhere with my jumping abilities. But the backflip, I was a little bit like, it's extremely impressive. Don't get me wrong. But if I were him, I would have like jumped on the gazebo. If I'm going to jump, I'm going to jump on top of the gazebo.
Something insane.
Or have production pull Charity away from for a second and have him be like on top of the gazebo and jump down, startling her.
What's the
something like that,
right.
you know? Or bring out a horse and be like, I'm going to jump over this horse for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the wrestler's name again?
Caleb.
The unfortunate thing is Caleb can also backflip.
That was the problem.
So, you know what I mean? Not great when your claim to fame is something someone else can do.
But that's the thing. His claim to fame is his height jumping. So I'm like, stick to the height jumping.
Right.
So I would make that my first move. Number one, I wouldn't have done it.
Sure.
I would have saved it for a special moment.
Yeah. Well, and another thing too that's really hard about kind of things like that is you just become that guy. Mm-hmm. You're the backflip guy. You're the jump guy. I'm not really taking you seriously, unfortunately.
Correct, yeah.
You become the guy who busts out the party trick.
Yes.
And the tough thing about jumping is that, and this is not from experience, this is just from an onlooker's view.
Your knees.
Is that jumping is a little bit like the Rubik's Cube.
Sure.
It's impressive. After like one or two times of being really fast with the Rubik's Cube, you're kind of like, okay, I've seen it. I know, like, I see what it's done. Very cool. There's no way I could do that. And then kind of you're like, okay, after 2-3 backflips, after 1 or 2 big box jumps, you're kind of like, okay, I think we're done with the jumping and the backflipping.
Yes.
And so I think that like, if I see you do one backflip and never do one again, I'm like, whoa, that was sick.
1,000%.
If I see you do 3 or 4 in a row, now I'm a little bit like, I don't think I need to talk to you anymore. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's like it was too far.
If he would have stuck to one at one point, either not do the backflip on the entrance and then do it later, or vice versa, I would have been fine. The issue was we did the first backflip, and then later in the episode, he literally was like, Charity, everybody gather around. So he made everyone stand in a circle around him, and then he jumped very high, very impressive, and then continued to do backflips, which led to then Caleb doing a backflip, which then led to then Caleb taking out some guy in some wrestling move, and it became just kind of a circus situation.
Gosh, yeah, it became like a locker room or like a frat house a little bit with that vibe.
And it was giving me just the energy of, there was a moment the other day when Evan and I were walking at the beach, and there was a group of guys in front of 2 women, and the way that they were acting, I looked at Evan and I go, this is purely for them, and they think that it's impressing the woman. And if anything, the women are feeling like deterred by it. It's like, I'd rather you just take a moment and sit with me on the towel and have a great conversation with me, or we can maybe wade out into the water. But I'm watching a group of men tackling each other, splashing water at each other, and then like grabbing one of the women and throwing them in the water. And I'm like, this is just for them, and we're not impressed.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you guys now, and that's exactly what happened in this mansion setting where Chris then started this whole circus of men trying to one-up each other, and Charity's like, I'm going to go talk to one of the other hot guys outside who actually wants to chat and then maybe like make out with me. I prefer that, okay? I'm going to go for that over
the party chick guy is always cool, but no one takes them seriously, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that it's like being a magician at a party. Everyone's like, do the magic, Kevin, do it. And then you do it, but then everyone's kind of like, you're the magic guy now.
But then, but magic is quite impressive, and you have so many different.
But it's just like that's all you're known for. You're not known for your personality. You're not known for like what you offer in regards to life partner. You're just magic guy.
I'm more okay with a magic guy versus a guy who's like, I'm going to arm bar you in the middle of the room. And I'm sure they're nice guys, but I'm a little bit like, I'm going to take my limited amount of time and go talk to someone else, because that's what gets me going a little more than just watching you do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about that. But then we had Braden come out. Braden was another one who on the cast bios gave us a very different look at first. You know, on the cast bios, he kind of had like all his leather bracelets, and we were getting potential Hillsong worship pastor energy. Now he came on with the glasses, the slicked back hair, the matching pocket square to tie to sock ratio, kind of a 50s energy going on.
He looked like a server at like Salt Bay's restaurant.
Yes, 1,000%.
You know
Or the
what I
manager.
mean?
The manager at Salt Bay's
manager
restaurant.
at
Yes.
Salt Bay.
Yeah.
Because it was very like, it was just like, it was too much suit. Like it was like a lot of suit.
It was a very nice, but there were a lot of details.
Well, the blue, here's the problem. The black suit was great. Hair was cool. Glasses were cool. But then he rocked like a blue shirt, which is very like,
yeah, I think it was a dark.
80s.
I think it was a dark navy with a blue and the pink.
Pink.
Yeah.
So it gave like 80s stockbroker meets Salt Bay restaurant guy.
Yeah, 100%.
It was kind of just like, wow, that's a
Well,
strange
and then
look.
he busted out because he's a traveling nurse. He busted out, he had the tray, and he
I
was
think
like,
the tray didn't help.
He's like, let's be responsible, and you think you're gonna get your shots, and he lifts it off, and he has 2 shot glasses,
Yeah.
and so I think the shot glasses of tequila are probably lending to how you're feeling. It's like the manager coming up and being like,
Yeah.
I have a special treat for my
Yeah.
favorite guests, and like revealing the shots.
And the favorite guests are only women. You know what I mean? They're only women that he's hitting on. Like something about you guys just love having you in the restaurant, and it's like it's interesting. Yeah.
Even though I did like that that intro.
Yes, it was.
I
good.
thought it was a great entrance. I love the holding
the tray with the
tray
shots. Yes.
and the shots. I thought that was
Yep.
unique and fun.
Agreed.
And I did like that when he threw back the tequila shot that he like winced.
Yes.
And he's like, I don't normally do tequila. I'm like, I see you,
I guess
Braden.
you do.
I recognize. But I have a lot of thoughts about Braden,
Okay.
which we can then dive into
Yes.
because obviously then that became the big drama
That
of
was the
this
story.
episode. But so we'll hold off on Braden a little bit. Okay, let's take a quick pause before we dive into the rest of the men and the rest of this episode. Okay, family, it's summer and things are getting hot, okay? The question is, are you wanting to have some hot alone time? If you know what I mean, wink, wink. For that hot self-loving time, I always suggest Dipsea. Dipsea is an app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories. And like you have heard me say, these are truly sexy stories, okay? Even talking about it makes me a little bit flushed.
Radically inclusive, Dipsea brings scenarios to life with immersive soundscapes and realistic characters. There's all sorts of scenarios. We're talking about second chance romances, adventurous vacation flings, hot and heavy hookups, and so much more. They also have some amazing celebrities voicing some of these sexy audio stories too.
Yes, they do. Like you've never heard them before. Ooh la la. Also, something I love, new content is released every week. Every week, I absolutely have my favorites that I like to go back to on Dipsea again and again, but I also love knowing I will always be able to find something new to explore. Also, they have sexy stories you can read as well if you prefer that over the audio, and you can find soothing sleep stories and wellness sessions on Dipsea. They have it all.
Let Dipsea be your go-to place to spice up your me time, explore your fantasies, relax and unwind, or heat things up with a partner. For listeners of the show, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/momdad. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/momdad, dipseastories.com/momdad.
So it's vacation time. It's a lot of people's vacation era right now, as the kids say. Okay. And if you're vacationing, traveling anywhere, I cannot recommend Base luggage enough. I love my Base Weekender bag. All their luggage is not only sleek and chic, it is also an overpacker's dream, which is me. Hello. With Base, there's room for everything. I'm talking 15 pairs of underwear for a weekend trip. No problem with Base, okay? Deciding between a few pairs of shoes, bring them all with Base.
Base was created by actress Shay Mitchell to make sleek and affordable bags, luggage, and accessories designed to help you travel effortlessly while looking fashionable. Base has thought of everything you could ever want in a piece of luggage. 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushion handle, built-in weight indicator, washable bags for your dirty clothes, and all the interior pockets you need to keep organized.
And by the way, their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors. And for shorter trips, the Weekender bag is super functional and even has a place to store your shoes separately, which I'm obsessed with. The undercarriage area, incredible. You got to check out their website, and every piece is made to look better with miles, so you don't have to worry about it in cargo or overhead. And here's the thing. End of the day, Base has over 30,000 5-star reviews, so the people have spoken. We all love our Base luggage.
Whether you're packing for a quick trip or looking to breeze through the security line, Base has your personal items covered. Right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/momdad. Go to basetravel.com/momdad for 15% off your first purchase. That's BEIS travel.com/momdad.
Okay, back to the men. Next, we have Spencer. And Spencer offered that Charity hit him in the balls or knee him in the balls. He showed her how to knee a man in the balls. And what it made me immediately think of is how it is interesting. I don't think we've ever on this show had someone who was like, came out and was like, hey, S&M is my kink. Yes. I don't think that's what Spencer was doing, but when he was like, go ahead, kick me in the balls, I was like, what if this was someone's thing? Yeah. And they were like, no, please do it. We've never had someone, I don't think, show up in like a little ball gag situation and be like, spank me.
Oh, we've never had someone show up and go, put your balls on my eyes.
That's true. That would be me.
Right? I'm going to put it right out there. Here's what I like. Kick me in the nuts as hard as you can, and I'm going to get this thing going. Get me started. And you'll get the best version of me. Just an unapologetic.
So just putting that out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you've got a kink, maybe like, you know, entrance is your opportunity to let the lead know, like, this is going to be my kink. I don't think that was the situation for Spencer, but, you know, just a potential offer for future endeavors and individuals on this show.
He had an energy, a little bit of surprise.
Yes,
you know what I mean? In the beginning. So like, I liked him because he kind of everyone came out and you could tell they were kind of like headed right for her and kind of like, I have my line ready. Here we go. He was a little bit like, I got in the wrong limo. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he was just walking on the street.
I'm heading to my medical sales business function.
And I thought that my clients were in this limo and I accidentally just got in the wrong one and there was a cancellation last minute. And so what they did, they were just like, you can come. And he's like, okay, cool. And then he gets out and he kind of like, this is a lot. I'm really nervous. And he said, I'm like really nervous. And he was kind of like, he didn't have the smooth line rehearsed.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not fully prepared. I feel like I need to tell her about my kid right away because I think that's like what I'm supposed to do. If I've seen the show enough times, maybe I should tell her right away.
Yeah, everything was kind of jumping around too. Especially the like intro. He was kind of jumping around to different topics. I don't even remember exactly what he was saying because it was like switching a little bit and then the nut thing hit and then so I almost felt like he was just kind of like, I'm gonna try some things, we'll see what happens. Like, to be honest with you, I had this like vision in my brain that he was like, hey guys, I gotta get back because I have a dinner at 8. Like this is gonna, he had this energy like, how long is this gonna run?
I got a client dinner.
This is running really long. And I've been in that limo for 3 hours and I thought this was gonna be like a 40-minute ordeal.
Yes. I saw online, I saw a lot of people just like really coming for Spencer. And I just want to say this, I don't like it. I don't like the people coming for Spencer. I understand that he's a unique character.
Yeah.
But I think that who Spencer reminded me of, honestly, was it was kind of a Zach from Love is Blind energy.
Yes.
And, you know, we all ended up falling in love head over heels with Zach from Love is Blind. So that's all I have to say about Spencer.
And he seemed like really sweet.
He did.
Harmless. It'd be one thing if he came out and he was like villain energy right away and then people are like having an issue with him.
Okay, next we have Caleb, our pro wrestler, which is just the best job to do this. Like, I'm obsessed. When he had first of all, the suit, it was so Vegas. So like Vegas. Burlesque Vegas energy.
Yes. It was like, but it was also like cowboy Vegas too, right? Because he had the cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fire, if I'm going to be honest with you.
The look was fire.
The look was dope.
I know, I was into it.
No one else is rocking this like Vegas-y suit with a cowboy hat. Like, I celebrated it.
You know what I feel like? I want to know, first of all, what his pro wrestling name is. If he just goes by Caleb. I don't think I heard them, but I picture it the Vegas Maverick.
Oh, I like that.
He's the Vegas Maverick. But he's a villain, remember?
Roll the dice. Pay the price. The Vegas Maverick is coming to a town near you. That's pretty good.
That's very good.
That was pretty good. Yay me.
But I did love when he was looking into the camera doing the poses of the villain face.
It was so theater.
So theater.
He's a theater kid.
And I live for a theater kid.
I loved him. He was just sweet. And he was kind of like, what did he say? He's like, my character is a self-loving douche, and that's the opposite of me. And I was like, that's kind of sweet. You get to play a character.
Yeah. Now, I will say I believe the last time they had a pro wrestler on it was many years ago on Ali's season, and it did not go well. He ended up being a big time villain on the show.
But I'm not getting that energy from
I'm not
him.
getting that energy from our Caleb. I
like
am
Caleb.
not. The Vegas Maverick.
Dude,
Nice.
anyone who becomes a pro wrestler, like you are a character.
100%.
Like you're an interesting individual. If you're like, I'm going to choose to be a pro
Yeah.
wrestler, and I would love to be friends with a pro wrestler.
Me too.
That'd be sick.
Invite us to your shows,
I like Caleb.
We're coming out to see you.
He seems like a sweet guy.
Next we have a series of men who the only commentary is about how tall they are.
It's
and
just
it
the
is
tall crew.
so true. This season, I mean, there's always a lot of tall guys on this show. This season is height.
So tall.
So many tall men. We have Joe come out. He's tall. Charity is just like,
Yeah.
to 17 guys in a row is just like, oh
You're
my God,
tall.
you're tall. And Charity seems so tiny. I mean, she's wearing heels, but she's just teeny tiny. So Joe, Caleb K, who is the football player from her alma mater, I believe. So I'm
Yes.
still trying to see if we'll have a moment with them where maybe they know similar people, know each other. She did say in her intro at the beginning that she was a cheerleader.
Yes.
So I don't know if that continued on through college. But is she a cheerleader when he was a football player? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
I love that.
Adrian Tall, James, Peter the pilot, Michael, our yacht captain, gives her a charm bracelet, which I thought was very sweet. I do kind of wish they would have had him figured out a boat situation for him, like put it on some sort of trailer and boom, boom.
Oh, that would have
come
been
in.
nice. Yeah. Or like, you know how airline pilots give kids wings? Mm-hmm. If there was like some sort of boat thing that they give out.
Maybe
like
a
some sort
wheel?
Of, some sort of little wheel. Like a mini
Well,
engine or something.
I think that's what he gave her with the charm bracelet. I think
Yeah.
there was like
Oh, there was like some boat
some
shit on
boat
there. You'll never wear this, but you know, here you go.
I thought it was nice.
I like it.
Taylor came out and he had some sort of selfie stick with a vlogging camera and it was like, hey kids, I'm meeting your mom for the first time.
Cute.
Cute,
Cringe, cute.
cringe cute, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
You know, if you're like a dad before you have kids,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's kind of like that's an energy.
It's an energy.
It's an energy, and you got to be kind of ready for that.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I think that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling. Sean shows up, gives her a massive check. And
Yes.
his heart is what's on the line here.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, where is the money? You really want to do well on this show? If I'm the lead, show up with a massive check.
An actual check.
cash.
Yeah, money.
Actual cash.
We'll all just pay you to marry
Pay me, yeah. Listen, if you show up with enough money, I will pick you at the very end and I'll walk away with the money and then, you know, whatever, we end our engagement. It's
Yes.
fine. I'll stay in touch with one of the guys that I actually connected
Yes.
with, but you come in with a big check with the real
There's certain
real
gimmicks.
dollar
There's
signs
certain
behind
gimmicks
it.
too, where you're like, you know that like the initial thoughts great, and then once they're in the limo holding the check, he's kind of going, oh, I don't like this idea.
He's just like, this check is
This is
you mean,
whack.
you mean when he's holding the check and it's slamming into all
Yeah,
your-
and everyone's like, "Oh, sorry." And he's like, "Sorry." Paper cut your neck, and then you're just like sitting there, and you're in there for 3 hours with the check, and it's huge, and you're just sitting there like this. And this is when you start to go, "I don't think this was a good idea." It's like when you dress up for Halloween, and your Halloween thing takes a lot of work,
Yes.
and then
yes.
once you get to the party, and then you realize you're going to be sitting in this like
yeah, and you're so
thing,
uncomfortable.
and you're like, "Oh, this is horrible. I should have just dressed up as like like Tom Cruise." You know
it's
what
like
I mean?
when Rick showed up and he was the head coming through the table, and he had to be like that for like
Exactly.
7 hours.
It's like when Heidi Klum was the worm, or
yeah,
whatever.
she
that
probably
thing.
only liked to be
She's
the
like,
worm for
after
a little
10
bit.
seconds, you're like, now I'm the worm.
No, I can't move at all.
You know what I mean? I'm just sitting here for hours in a worm costume. Like, this is not, and you're having to talk to someone and be like, hey, so how's work been? And you're a worm. You know what I mean? Like, that's the check. You're kind of like, once you deliver the check, you're like, so I just spent 3 hours holding that thing in the.
Everyone else in the limo is able to like have a drink, but he
Yeah.
can't. He's
No,
holding
it's all
this massive
crinkled
check.
too because he's been like shoving it through car doors for the last 3 hours.
They did. I don't think they showed us him coming out with it. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the exit? He's like trying to get it out.
He's folding it. He has to fold it 3 ways to get it out, and then he undoes it, and it's all like crinkled and stained, and like there's like ketchup on it from when they were eating in the car. You know what I mean? The check thing was a little much for me.
But John, who I loved. John, he brought out the fortune cookie, and inside the fortune cookie it said, "You'll meet the man of your dreams tonight. His name is John." And he's like, "I don't know how that happened." That was so cute. Yeah. Love John's energy.
It's just simple.
Everything about John. Another Joey to me. I think that people are going to be obsessed with him. Yeah. He has such this sweet, he's super handsome. He's got this sweet energy. Again, I knew it from the cast bios. I could tell. I like this guy's energy, even though I thought he was going to be a little more of a fuck boy, and he's giving me like sweet, true love energy. John and Charity did end up making out.
Yes.
And when he went to the ITMs and he was giddy and he's like, I don't want to be that guy and say it was the best moment of my life, but like here we are. And it was
it was really sweet.
So good. I love his energy. I think he's going to be the love of everyone's life in the mansion.
Yes.
Everyone loves John.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I like him. There's not a ton of major fuckboy energy going on across the board.
No, there really isn't. There
generally is like a good chunk of just like, what's up? Mm-hmm. But like there's not really
it's a good crew. It's a good crew. You know what? When we were talking about earlier, the magic of this episode, I think part of what it was watching all these men and getting to know their personalities a little bit in this first episode. It made me feel like, I think we're meeting a lot of guys that will do really well in this franchise. Yeah. Like, I feel like it's been a long time since we had certain people crushing numbers on social media where people are like obsessed with them and then they become like legacy Bachelor contestants. I was feeling legacy Bachelor contestants in this group of men that people will love for forever. Yeah, that's what I was feeling. And then last we have Dotun, who is
6,000 feet tall.
Tall.
When he hugged her, she hugged his stomach.
And he hugged her forehead. That was the gap. He literally was like hugging her forehead while he was bending down.
He looked like when I hug Ember. It was just kind of like, you just kind of grab their head a little bit and just kind of go like this, like a little sister or something. You just kind of like, oh, come here. He was so much taller than her.
So much taller than her.
She's got to be like 5'2" or something.
But she was wearing heels.
Yeah, but he was so much taller than her. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. It was two Charities stacked on top of each other.
Yes.
But Dotun's energy.
He's got great energy.
He has great energy. Now, in this episode, we really didn't get to know him. And in fact, he was nervous that he wasn't going to get a rose because he hadn't gotten to speak to Charity that night. Mm-hmm. But the way he came out and he right away looked at her, he's like, chill. Like, you're looking so good.
He's got that trifecta of like tall, strong, swagger, a little nervous, and a little nerdy, which is like the perfect combination.
Yeah.
He can kind of be vulnerable vibe, but also like
strong,
powerful. So I just kind of had this energy where I was like, oh, this guy's...
Dotun was the guy who, if I was Charity with all of the entrances, would have made me feel butterflies and feel kind of flustered.
Yeah.
Because the way he came in was just so natural and organic, and the flirting was so good.
Natural.
Is that he would have given me the most butterflies, where I would have been like, oh my God, like, I'm going to talk to him later. And like, am I going to say the right thing to Dotun?
He's switching the dynamic a little bit. Yes.
I felt that. So that was then all the men.
Yeah.
And then we had a surprise for Charity. Obviously, it was not a surprise to the audience because we knew that Nehemiah was going to be showing up, and Jesse lets Charity know that Nehemiah will be there tonight, her brother, which, by the way, I'm obsessed with him. I was on his Instagram, and he is the singing dentist on Instagram because he is an actor, singer, and pediatric dentist. Who is this family?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, she works in the mental health business with kids, okay? He is a pediatric dentist. Are you joking?
They're nice. They're hot. They're connected. They're close to each other. It's like, who's the person that's just like, honestly, my family kind of sucks.
Like, let me be part of this family.
Yeah.
I love them all so much. So we then have this moment where Nehemiah is saying that he is going to be a bartender, which, by the way,
I called.
Evan, numerous months ago, before the concept that he was even going to be on the show got brought up, Evan was like, I would love the idea if there was like a secret bartender who was always there, who got some behind the scenes info. So Nehemiah,
no big deal, they're listening.
Nehemiah is this bartender.
Yes.
But they give him this mustache, this wig, this outfit. And what I'm obsessed with is this. Nehemiah made numerous comments, and then Charity was saying it at the end too, but Nehemiah made numerous comments where he was like, listen, obviously what they gave me was semi-ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming some of the guys are going to figure out that it's me, but hopefully they don't. I love that he threw that out there, that he was like, they did not give me the proper makeup department. Like, where is the makeup department?
It's like I can call some friends from my theater group.
That's what I'm saying, because I was then looking at his Instagram and I'm like, Nehemiah has been in some gorgeous shows where like the costuming is stunning. And I'm like, this man is part of the theater. And he's like, are you joking me with this? Like, you're not going to have, this is a show on national television and you're not going to like put out the works for me with a full makeup department. And then halfway through, he goes, I'm working a lot more than I imagined.
He's bussing. They have him like loading the drinks in, and he's like, wait a second. I thought this was like, I was supposed to be like an acting
being
role.
Like proper bartender. And it's like, are you for real right now?
Or no, I like the idea of him. It's his choice and he's method acting. And he's like, I got a job for a bartender for the last year to prepare for this role. I have been studying. I went to school for bartending just for this role. I
went to Flair bartending school.
I must do the load in and the load out and the clean up.
I got to be part of it.
I got to be part of this process, or else I can't engage with this character.
But no, I was dying that he had these moments numerous times where he's like, they have me actually bartending.
He's like making drinks.
More than I thought, and they didn't bring out the full makeup department for me. So yeah, I guess we'll try to make this work.
Yeah, like if I was doing that, you would just get an orange vodka juice every time. They'd be like, I'll take a gin and tonic. I'd be like, cool, orange vodka juice coming right up.
They're like, you mean a corkscrew? And you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Before.
It's called an orange vodka juice.
There's the name for this drink.
I was thinking about, though, if I was Nehemiah, what I would have wanted, if I would be a sibling sneaking, I would have wanted the makeup department and props department to do a full look on me.
Reconstructive
to
look.
Make me like a tree. Like I'd want full like tree prosthetics and just be standing this the whole time and have it be the corner where they tell the guys that they're going to go film just alone moments of the guys. And I'd be standing there as a tree and you'd see my face. And every once in a while I'd wink at the camera.
Insane.
Just like this.
You just bark.
And then when I would go into the room and tell everyone I'm actually the lead sister, I'd like slowly I'd uproot.
They make their attention go somewhere else, and then all of a sudden the tree's in the middle of the room, and they're like, who moved this tree here? And you're like,
I was like, I rip away the facial tree prosthetics. And
that's
I'm like,
insane.
I'm Charity's sister. And then I'm trying to sit down with Charity.
You're just like this. And then you just go,
And then try to
I've been a tree the whole time.
And then trying to sit down with Charity to discuss. I'm like trying to sit down
They
and the
keep him in
roots
the
are like
tree.
snapping. And I'm just like, okay, so my overall thoughts on the
And then they
film.
cut to the producers, and they're like, we're already so deep in this bit, we had to do the tree.
I would have wanted to be a tree. Is all I'm saying. I'm like,
That would have been very funny.
I'm like, don't put me to work. I don't want to be a bartender. I just want to be a tree. Okay. That's all I'm asking for. I will sit in makeup for 12 hours if need be. I'm looking to get an Oscar out of this. Okay. I'm looking for a makeup Oscar award for your department. Have you ever gotten an Emmy, Bachelor, for your makeup work? No, I'm going to help you today. But I'm obsessed with him. I'm obsessed with his energy. Absolutely loving this Nehemiah twist they added into it. I just thought it made it so fun and interesting, and it just added a different spin to it. And I love Nehemiah and Charity's dynamic. So I was like 10 out of 10.
100%.
10 out of 10. Now, in general, Nehemiah was observing these men, listening to their conversation. And like he told Charity later, in general, he's like, I'm liking what I'm hearing. Like, I'm not really hearing any red flags from these guys. Everyone's talking about how stunning you are, a real life Disney princess, amazing, kind, all these wonderful things. The one little thing he had was a moment with Aaron S., who said he's a little nervous about the process. And then when Nehemiah actually brought that up to Charity, I love Charity's response. Charity was like, as he should be.
Understandable, yeah.
Loved that. Loved that she wasn't the Bachelorette that was like, wait, what? I love that she was like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's smart to be a little concerned about if this process or skeptical about this process. But there was one person that Nehemiah had some red flags with. And that individual was Brayden.
Yes.
He was loving Aaron B and not loving Brayden. Now, we saw the moment with Aaron B and Charity where Aaron B brought out a keyboard and you just hear it playing from the other room. And I'm wondering if in editing they cut out all of his musical moments, like if they cut out him playing a song, because all we get was him hitting a chord saying like, Charity, you're amazing. And then hitting a funky chord and her being like, oh.
He hit a wrong note and her face couldn't lie. So like.
It was everything.
He hit a wrong note and she goes like this. Like she flinches. And it was amazing because it was like we all felt that same way. And her whole face contorted for a second and then went back. And then she's like, this is great. Thank you so much for this. And I was like, this is not great. And I'm so uncomfortable right now.
But she clearly likes him, so she was just probably like, Aaron, just come sit next to me. Come sit next to me.
We can get
that
past
was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Then he bust the coin out
again. So it was a gimmick to gimmick.
It was a lot of gimmicks in a row.
It was a lot of gimmicks.
I want to get to know Aaron B.
Yes.
Because I'm liking Aaron B, but I feel like we're getting nerves the first night and a lot of pre-planned, which we appreciate a pre-planned moment because it means that you're thinking about it, okay? That you're not just flying in with no idea of how you're going to handle this, but it was a lot of gimmick to gimmick.
Yeah.
I did like that he wasn't singing to her, staring into her eyes.
That's good.
He was just hitting the keys a little bit, I could appreciate that, but it made me laugh so hard when she did that face because she's just like, please stop and sit next to me because I think you're hot and I like your vibe.
Yeah.
So just let's stop with the keyboard.
Great makeout.
Great makeout.
I'm getting Thurston vibes. Like
Katie?
Katie was a big makeouter and she was like making out hot right away. It was like hot and heavy makeouts. It wasn't like the smoochies that like gradually as the season goes
get
hot
more
and
heavy
intense.
makeouts right
it's
away.
Like immediate 2-minute makeout sessions.
And it's the same vibe with Katie Thurston where it was just like you feel the chemistry.
Charity makes out like she loves you. You know what I
you
mean?
Feel
like,
that. It's good. Which again, it leads to great season energy.
It leads to great season energy because I think all the guys are probably thinking they're the one.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because like that makeout was so amazing that like there's no way I'm.
And she said, like Aaron said, she has that sparkle in her eye. She's got that magic about her, and then these great makeouts, and all the guys were like, "Wow, that was good."
Yes,
Charity's a good kisser. But they had a moment. But again,
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, Aaron is
I'm on the
one.
fence with Aaron. There's something about him that I know that Nehemiah was like a big fan, and obviously he's probably seen more. But there was something about Aaron where between the gimmicks and the energy, it wasn't like, for me, it would have been cuter if like he would have kind of done the piano thing and the coin thing and kind of laughed at it.
Right.
But he kind of was like serious about how awesome it all was.
Yes.
And I was a little bit like, I just am not sure yet.
I understand that. I feel that way similarly in the sense that I believe that but of course will be an Aaron Brayden showdown. And I know I'm going to fall into one of the camps that I prefer. And as of right now, I've got some red flags. Personally, totally. I've got some red flags with Brayden personally.
But I think my departing
note. So I
note,
think that I lean towards Aaron.
Well, yeah, I don't think it has to be one or the other.
Of course. I'm just saying I know there's going to be a showdown.
I think my little sonar is going up for the sole reason of, from the little I've seen from Aaron, I'm getting he takes himself too seriously vibe. Got it. I understand that. He's not able to kind of laugh at himself. Right. That's not the energy I'm getting. The energy I'm getting is like everything I do is intentional and serious. Right. And it should be taken very seriously. That's kind of the thing I get. So we'll see. Well, he's also going in, to Aaron's credit, he is going in with some serious players behind him who have helped him with coaching. So you also wonder too, is Aaron going in with all these things prepared because he's been coached and he's getting help? So it's a little stiff at the beginning because it's like, you got to do this, and this. You got to be named Aaron. You got to do this. You got to do this. Right. Change your name. And now maybe in upcoming episodes, we'll get to know him a little more. His name wasn't even Aaron. And then he met Aaron Clancy. He's like, if you want to be on the show, you got to change your name first of all. So I think we're going to get to know Aaron more. I think he's just a little stiff in this first episode. Right, we'll but Nehemiah was a big fan. And I have to tell you, the way that
Aaron was talking about Charity like at the bar, I was loving.
Yes.
I loved the way he was talking about her. It was like super respectful, but also like she's everything and all of that. I like that. Now, then there was Brayden. So Brayden and Charity sit down together, and immediately we were right about Brayden, by the way. In his bio, it said he's looking for an honest partner, and we're like, that means he was cheated on. Ding, ding, ding. He tells Charity, we have something in common. You know, I know you were cheated on, and we have to now process that. I was as well. So they have that moment together, which I'm sure is like, means a lot to Charity. When you meet somebody who's walked through something similar, that means a lot. And then she asked him, you said that you saw me and wanted to then come on the season. What about me made you want to come on the season? And he right away said, your empathy.
Great answer.
And his answer following up was fantastic too. He was like, I see that, you know, you're always putting people first. And sometimes that can be tough because then people aren't giving it to you, and you deserve to be in the situation where someone is also giving it to you and you're receiving all of that. And then, you know, he put himself in that position too, where he was like, I also am that way. I give a lot.
Yes. It's a great answer because most people would have done the stock. You seem kind. You're beautiful. You're humble. You're honest. Those are all stock answers. Empathy.
That was a good
one. Not a stock answer.
And the add-on with him seeing her in this moment of like, I see that you are constantly putting people first. Also in what she does with work. I'm sure like truly what she does with work in the mental health field, like she's always having to be putting others first. Mm-hmm. And this is now her moment where she gets to make sure that she is putting herself first and being taken care of. And I think he saw that moment and he vocalized it, which I thought was a fantastic answer. Agreed. I really did. And then these two started making out. Now this makeout was next level.
That was the top one for sure. They made out like 3 times too. It wasn't even like the first.
They kept going back.
The guys were watching. They're like, oh, he's going back in.
They kept going back
tripping.
In. It was that good.
Yes.
Kept going back in. Mm-hmm. Kept going back in. Mm-hmm. So then Brayden walks away, goes to the bar, and is giddy. He is like
high energy,
very high energy, big personality,
kind of like a big kid.
100%. And is just like, oh my God, that makeout was amazing. He's telling everyone he can't stop. And then he starts kind of going into like, oh my God, and her lips were incredible. And like then in ITMs, he was like, and I don't want to kiss and tell, but she kind of like bit my lip and oh my God, we did it, you know?
Yeah, right.
And you can tell he's very, very excited. But then there were moments that kept happening where he'd be like standing alone and be like, wow.
Can't believe I just made out with her so much.
Yeah, it was a lot. So what Nehemiah then was picking up on is Nehemiah was like, I'm getting a lot of energy from this guy, but I'm also getting cockiness. I'm getting arrogance. And this is night 1. And I think he's an arrogant guy. Now, my personal thoughts. I feel like in this situation that he had a lot of energy, nerves the first night, and was then extremely excited that it went so well, and is an outward processor who he's an outward processor, and it was just a lot. But I think he was genuinely excited.
Yep.
I don't think that it was so much bragging. I think that it was more like, I'm riding high
just
right
can't
now.
Stop talking about it. Yeah.
And it wasn't like we're down to the final 5 or 6 where then it's really awkward when you're talking about like your intimacy with this person. It's a little bit like we all just met her and like I'm stoked that it went so well. But then on the flip side, I understand what Nehemiah was saying by like, and then Aaron B brought this up where it's like, hey, when you're having that moment, like that's your guys' private moment. You then don't need to be sharing about like how soft her lips were and those types of things. So I understood that perspective, but I don't think
that never gets taken well when the guy comes back and is bragging, or not bragging, but even just talking about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's so insecure and on edge about the whole situation that like that never plays well.
100%. But I really don't in this situation think that he was maliciously doing anything. I don't think he was bragging. I think he was just full of excitement. With that being said, I think Nehemiah, saw a group of really amazing guys and had to go back to Charity because of course it's the show and say like, well, here's the one guy. So he brought up the Aaron S comment and then brought up Brayden. But I also think he probably felt just this kind of unspoken, like there's just a red flag energy here. And I can see it.
Interesting.
I can see it. Like so far, Brayden seems super nice, super into Charity. And I might be proven dead wrong in this. He's maybe one of those guys that everyone's going to be obsessed with. And I then am the one who everyone's like hating on because I'm just like not a huge fan. And it might also be because he does look just like Chad Veach to me from Zoe Church. So I'm getting like rock star pastor energy,
hot pastor
like
vibes.
hot Hillsong pastor. So maybe I'm triggered, sorry. And that's what I'm riding off of. But I understand maybe an undertone of I'm like, okay, is this guy one of those guys who's got the energy of like, I'm not a player, but is a secret player.
Yeah.
He kind of gives me that vibe.
Sure. I think that's my thing. I like him. I like him because I like that he's instantly vulnerable. He's instantly
totally
sweet and fun. But I also get the possibility that he is an F-boy.
100%.
And that he's kind of like, there's two types of F-boys. There's like the cool swagger ones. And then there's like the who me?
Yes.
And he's a who me fuckboy possibly.
Yes. After
know
the
what I mean?
makeout, when he kind of pulled away and was like giggling and like, did that just happen? Like, I thought it was really sweet.
But I'm like,
I really
a little
did.
too
And here's
smooth.
the fact. It could be pure. And he could be just this pure
Totally.
sweetheart. He is a young guy. It could be this pureness, right? But my little like ding, ding, ding went off of like, is this the thing he does?
Right.
Is this the thing?
Whoops.
Of
I've
like,
hooked up with you.
like, oh my God, like what?
Yeah,
You think
who-
I'm
who-
hot?
what, me?
When
Yeah,
it's like clearly you
exactly.
get hit on all
Yeah,
the time
exactly.
type.
That's
energy.
the possibility, which I don't mind. Like, we'll see. I'm kind of riding for him right now. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I know that he probably rubs people the wrong way, some people the wrong way, but I actually like him. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if that'll work out in time, but I'm getting his vibe.
We'll say this. I think he's a great character in this show. Whatever happens with him, I think he's a great moment in this show.
And I felt like what was such a pinnacle. And I really moving on to the Charity situation at the end.
Oh my God.
What I loved so much about this, and it proved that she's going to be a great Bachelorette,
Yes.
is that her brother came in, gave her the word. What happens 99% of the time, whenever someone reports someone, we know this, it's like, you're gone. Or they hunker down hard, and it's like a defense thing.
Yeah. But we're night one here.
Charity didn't do either.
No.
She listened to her brother and said, that's concerning, took him away, talked to him, and then gave him the rose. So what was clear was that he was a clear shoo-in to get the rose in the first point. And then I will say this, he had the perfect response
He
when
really
she
did.
called him out.
Yeah.
Him saying, I was just really excited about our connection. And if I was you and I felt the way I feel, I would be telling everybody about it too. And I'm like, that is a perfect response.
Yeah.
And then she said, I actually like that. I like a guy who's confident enough.
Yeah. Which I get.
To stand up for the way you feel. And I was like,
And
that just locked him in even harder.
And by the way, Charity is giving us what we need and want this season by hearing Nehemiah out, walking into that room of men and being like, heard some good things, heard some interesting things. Brayden, and led with that dramatic moment, pulled Brayden aside, had him sit down, heard what he said, liked what he said, but didn't go, I like that. She goes, I need a minute to think.
She's also not like blindly trusting her brother to where she's like, whatever, which we could all do. If you're my best friend or brother or someone came in and was telling me something, I would just probably believe it immediately and be like, whatever you say goes. But to go, I'm going to take it in, adjust with it, use it, and then make my own decision. But not only that,
she gave us the theater of the Bachelorette, which we need and we love. And I thank her for that. Pulled him aside. But then after he gave her the answer that she liked, she literally, deep breath, I need to think about this for a second. Walks away, acting like she's about to send him home, comes back, has the first impression rose hidden and busts it out. And it was theater in the best way possible. And I was like chanting her name and I'm like, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like,
it was a vibe.
It was so good. It was so good.
I really liked it. I really liked it. And it made me really hopeful for the rest of the season.
No, that's when you and I looked at each other and we're like, this season's gonna kick ass.
This is gonna kick ass. Yeah.
Like, it's fantastic. And then she walks back in with Brayden, arm in arm, hand in hand, laughing, going, Like you can tell she's like, ooh, it's a nervous energy. Sits down with him, still holding his hand, kind of looking down. And she's like, well, he got the first impression rose, because she knows all the guys in that room think that he was going to get sent home, and they were all talking about it. And now she's keeping them on their fucking toes.
Yes.
And I love that shit. I love when the Bachelorette's like, I'm going to keep all you guys on your toes. I'm keeping the guy who I'm giving the first impression rose to on his toes. All you other guys on your toes. Production on their toes. Charity.
I also
so good.
I like the fact
good.
that she kind of is sending a message like, hey, you can't rat someone out and think it'll work. Like,
true. I mean, even though it was her brother.
No, but I'm saying like the guys could take that and go,
sure.
oh, if I bring up a concerning issue to her as a manipulative tactic, which some people do, it works. And that kind of set the tone for like, I don't know, like maybe I think twice before I bring up something, which is what most people don't do. They just immediately, when they start feeling losing ground, they start just going after the person that's gaining ground and going, well, he's a bad person, right? And it's like, whether it's true or not, it's like, it's a gamble. So it could be interesting how that sets the tone.
It was fantastic. And then we walk into the rose ceremony and first rose. So she has given Brayden the first impression rose, and then first rose she gives is to Aaron B. So we are off the races. We know there's going to be a rivalry. We've seen in the previews there's going to be a rivalry. It's going to be fantastic.
I mean, they're really setting up the rivalry there.
We're also seeing these moments, by the way, clips of Sean, which in the cast bio, I said Sean's the type of guy who he seems like he's got this smile plastered on and then he's going to snap easily. It looks like we're going to have some moments.
We love a snap.
We love a snap. But she ends up sending away... She sends home, Spencer ends up getting the final rose, and she sends home Khaled, Taylor, Jumper Chris. The jump didn't work. Joe, and I think that's it. I might be missing someone. I apologize if I am. But I would say these are my top 4 right now.
Okay.
These are the top 4 guys. Xavier, Joey, Brayden, Aaron, B.
Strong.
And I think that's obviously who we saw a lot from. Also John. I'm basically saying all the makeouts that she had minus Joey, because I think she wanted to make out with Joey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Josh is in there though. John.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think John's in there.
Yeah.
I think John's in there.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited. I mean, this is an awesome
season.
It's already going to be great. I had so much fun watching it already. It
looked
so
like
awesome.
a 10. There were so many incredible charity moments in that preview. There was fighting. There was a moment, by the way, and I saw a clip of it also on the Bachelorette Instagram, where I believe it's Aaron B and Brayden fighting. And I believe Aaron B calls Brayden a worm. So we have a Scandival moment, but I think this was being filmed simultaneously. A worm. I think this was being filmed.
Worm with a mustache.
Simultaneously while the Vanderpump finale was being filmed.
Is there like a worm thing going on?
There's like a worm thing happening.
Like a worm culture?
I don't know. Anyway, so we'll see. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited we're back in. It just feels so good.
It feels so good. So make sure to stay tuned. Tune in next Wednesday for our second recap of this season. I cannot wait. I'm genuinely thrilled right now.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be back.
Excitement is coursing through my veins. Do you want to do a call
of
home
course.
before we wrap it up?
Call home.
Let's talk to the fam.
Yeah.
Remember, you can always call home.
Beautiful every time.
Hi, Mom and Dad. My name is Allie, and
Allie.
Here's the thing. I'm moving in with my boyfriend like next month, and I am so excited. This is like just what we both need. We're both ready for this. We're both very excited. However, I have a cat, and he is very allergic to her. I wouldn't say very allergic, but he is allergic to her.
Oh no.
However, she is a non-negotiable, and he knows that.
Understood.
And would never ask me to rehome her. But I also want to figure out a way to make our living situation more comfortable for him. So if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Or if you know any good allergy meds, let me know. We're currently in a 1-bedroom, so there's not a ton of space, but hoping to find somewhere bigger next year when we move out. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bubble Boy's
Pets
ass.
over everyone. Yes, I love it. And I
give
love
him
that
like
he
a-
understands that it's a non-negotiable as well, that kitty.
Yeah, Bubble Boy.
Put him in a
Put him
bubble?
in a bubble. Put him in some like tarps. I'm not an allergic person, so you are allergic to cats.
I am allergic to
So
cats.
this is really interesting because every time we go to like someone's house that has heavy cats, you're like really struggling.
Well, and also it doesn't help because I love cats, and so I know I'm really allergic, but I will go and snuggle them, and I will
you'll pay the
pet them,
price.
and I love to hear them purr, and then I'm itching for like 24 hours, and my throat's closing up, and it's not great.
Maybe it's like you have like time with each being. So you're like maybe you work from home and you get cat time all day, and then cat goes in the other room when he comes home. I'm just assuming, I'm just making up like your guys' work hours, but I'm just going like, maybe you have, because the issue is going to be though, that cat's going to be all over the house.
Sure. So this is my thought. Okay. I don't know how allergic.
Just sedate your boyfriend.
I don't know how allergic. Just have him on a Benadryl IV. I don't know how allergic he is.
She
like,
said
health wise.
Yeah.
If it's not like where the throat is closing up, because that's then a whole different conversation. And I don't think that that's the case, or else I don't think you guys could live together. But
It's just in the hospital day one.
yeah, I don't think that that's the vibe that's happening. I would say a few tips. I know that they're not cheap. But for the sake of everyone involved, I would recommend two things. Number one, I would recommend air filter. They really work well. Like the Air Doctor is the one that we have. And I actually just in general can get kind of allergic with animals. So like our dogs even can give me allergies sometimes. Like it just happens. I just always can get itchy. But I have that air filter running. And when I started to use that, I noticed a huge difference just in general, that I'm not nearly as itchy most of the time. Just having that thing running. I'm telling you, an air filter really helps. And especially if you're in a 1-bedroom apartment, you can put one in the main area, one in the bedroom, have that air filter going. Also, maybe a Roomba, a little vacuum cleaner that's just
smart.
Constantly going around, because then you don't feel like you have to keep the cat in a specific area, and then it's constantly going. The Roomba's going and like getting the cat hair off of things.
I think making sure the house is super clean when it comes to cat hair.
Yeah.
So like constantly like dusting and vacuuming and like combing and brushing and right, because it's like I would imagine the dander, right, the cat dander mixed with like the hair being all over the house. That's going to be your problem, because everywhere he's going to be going, sitting on the couch, is going to be all over him.
I don't have a kitty, so I don't know like if you're not supposed to groom them or wash them a lot, but if it's okay to like regularly wash a kitty cat, I know they clean themselves a lot, but maybe there's a special shampoo that you can use regularly on your cat that helps with the dander. I don't know. These are just some ideas. I don't have a cat, so I'm not 100% sure. But
this is a great question for us because we don't have cats, and so I think that's what's fun about it, is that we when you come at things from a different angle. You know what I mean?
That's
you know what I'm
true.
saying? Like if
Yeah.
you had cat people on the show, you get your classic answers.
Yeah.
But we're offering you new things: shaving, Roombas, whatever. You know what I mean? Like we're offering some alternative ideas here. Just ideas.
Just ideas. But I think in general,
Or just get rid of the boyfriend.
Yeah, buy boyfriend.
Just let him go.
He can pay. You guys can rent the
Rehouse
spot.
him.
You can rent the spot together, and he can pay for his half. But like, he can also go live somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can just be a palace for you and your cat.
And just kind of sell it like distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean?
But I do love, it is a green flag to me that she has a partner
He's willing to push
who
through.
is willing to be like, I am allergic and I am uncomfortable, but I understand that this kitty cat is like, this is your family and I'm not, and it's a non-negotiable. And so I would say green flag for this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe just for the sake of his allergies, just being really on top of cleaning, which would be really hard for me. But I think, being really on top of cleaning, I would suggest. And the air filter. I'm telling you, air filters really help. They do.
Agreed.
So hope that helps.
And then some Zyrtec, Zyrtec in the water.
The
Have like a
Benadryl.
Zyrtec filter.
Yeah.
You guys are constantly Zyrtec'd.
Just Benadryl, Zyrtec, Claritin, just on tap.
IVs.
Just
all around the
a
house.
cocktail of allergy meds 24/7. Hope that helps in some
Hey,
way.
parents can't always get it right, but we try.
We try. Well, we love
you
you,
guys.
family. We will see you next week. And yeah, have a good
Peace and love. Have a great weekend.
Love you.
Kisses. Bye.
Bye.